Okay, you guys, so this is video number 2 of Google Web Stories. If you didn't do the homework, okay, I'm gonna look at you cross-eyed. You need to go do the homework, and I'm gonna show you why in just a second, okay? Today we're gonna talk about all about keyword research, okay? This is probably where I have seen the biggest movement in Google Web Stories. I told you guys I test everything. I love testing. And so when I came across this, it just made me go, oh my goodness. Okay. What I figured out was when your search volume is too low, okay, you're just not going to get enough impressions to be able to get results. And so keyword volume 100% matters. Okay. Now I'm going to preface this for a second. I'm going to give a little caveat here. I'm using a free program, not a free, it's a paid program. It's called KeySearch, and I'll put the discount code I used below. I'm not an affiliate or anything for them. I love their program. I use it for posts, I use it for web stories. You'll see why in a minute. It comes out to $11.90 with the code per month, and you get 200 reports per day. We never use that many. We've come close a couple of days. But again, I have clients, so like I use it all the time. If you ever have somebody do done for you services and they're just like, oh, send me blog posts and we'll just use those, and they're not doing keyword research, you need to really step back. Okay, I'm not bad mouthing anybody. Everybody has their own way. But if there's not enough volume, you're not going to get results. Bottom line. Okay, so we're going to jump in here. Okay, we're going to go back to the example from yesterday. Okay, so that you guys can see this. Okay, so I told you, pull a report. If you don't have a report like my sewing one, you're just going to figure out blog posts, put them on a Google Sheet, put them on wherever. Okay, I also have a Google Sheet open. I'm going to show you my process, okay, of how I keep track of it, how I know exactly which ones we're doing. It just makes it easier. Okay. So I'm going to look at the top performing clicks from that quarter. Okay. So you can see here it's best ice skates for beginners. So I'm going to go over to KeySearch and I'm going to start really, really broad. Okay. So I'm going to look at this, and you guys, I love this program. You can see I was looking up somebody's today. You're going to go to keyword research. Okay. And then you're going to type in, you're going to go super broad. We're going to go broad. Okay. So I'm going to look up ice skates. Maybe. It's just an awkward. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. So I'm looking for a couple of things. I'm going to do a search on this. Okay. And I'm going to look at this volume. I'm looking at this, although, so we know it's September, October, November, December, right? So I love that this shows me kind of months where it peaks. Okay. So I definitely would do web stories, anything over 50. So like November, December, even January. Okay. I might not do one in September. I might pick a different one and figure out, like, kind of play with it. Okay. But I'm looking here at the keywords. So there's 700 related keywords to ice skates. So remember, our thing is best ice skates for beginners. So we're looking for keywords that will kind of go with that. So I hit volume because I want the highest. Okay, so hockey skates don't go with it. Okay, but I could have a keyword that's just simply ice skates. I'm looking for a volume that's about 2,000 or higher. Okay, I have tried it with lower. Sometimes it'll do well, sometimes it doesn't. And with fourth quarter, I would go high. Okay, so I would look here and I'd be like, and I'm not looking at this score whatsoever. Okay, so I'm gonna look at ice skates. I can kind of see again when it comes up, okay? So I go over to my Google Doc, and this is just how I track. You do it however um, it makes sense to you, okay? But this is how I organize and do things in batches. So I put my keyword, I'm gonna put what that blog post is. So then when I'm doing stories, I'm not having to go back into my post and figure everything out. I literally can copy and paste this into a new browser and then be able to go through and make a story. Okay, so ice skates would be a good one. Are there any other keywords? Women's ice skates. Okay, now some of my grammar police. Okay, when you put this in your story, your URL is going to have exactly that. Okay. So I might do this a couple weeks down, maybe once a month, figure out, you're just going to have to kind of figure out, looking at that calendar, looking at all the things, what works best. Okay. So then let's go in here. Let's do a different one. Okay. You can do, so ice skates for beginners. Like you do men's ice skates, ice skating shoes. Okay. Do you see how many choices there are with that? Okay. Now, I will tell you, if you can get this, like girls' ice skates, like that's a 39, no doubt. Okay, I would use that because it is a lower keyword difficulty, but it doesn't scare me to do 50s. It doesn't. 40s, 50s, it doesn't matter to me. Okay. So let's look here. Roller skating versus rollerblading. Let's do a little different one here. Inline skates for rough roads. So again, you're going to go in here, start broad. And I want you guys to notice something here. So you've got inline skates, and then you've got inline skates with an apostrophe in the back. Okay. Google may let you put that apostrophe. They may not. It kind of depends on them. So, but you could totally just grab that. And again, you're going to put it in here in your keywords and then organize them how you want that to, how you want to create those and put them in there. Okay, I could create all of those and put them in a draft. And then, be like, okay, I'm gonna do this month, I'm gonna do that one that month, however it looks, but it could be in draft, and then you just go by your Google page. Okay, so just as a reminder, a couple things you're looking for. Okay, like here, I'm looking at like 70 starting in September. Anything over 50. Okay, so I would totally do one of those a month. Okay, all the way up through, well, every month, I would probably do one of those. Absolutely. Okay, and again, remember, if you run out of keywords, what do? We just go back in and do them again. Okay, because you've got inline hockey skates, you've got inline speed skates, you've got men's inline skates, inline roller skates. Okay, you've got all of these best inline skates. Okay, so you're going to take that story, and as long as it matches, you can go in there and make a story of that. Okay, now if you're doing something like peach cobbler and it's an apple cobbler, and that you can tell those are like totally, or like a peach cake and you're a peach cobbler, like yes, those are the same words, they both have peach in them, but they're not this, like, it's not going to fit the story. Okay. The one thing you don't want them to do is to click over and the post has nothing to do with that. Okay. So they've got to match, they've got to mesh a little bit. Okay. One of the biggest problems I see. Okay. So like let's look at this. So best inline skates for rough roads. And I'm going to talk about this when we do post. So this is the biggest mistake I see people make. Okay. Is they're coming in and they're putting what when you're not typically watching your URL. Okay. And we're going to talk about that as we create these tomorrow. So you can see here, best inline skates for rough roads only has a search volume of 90 per month. Okay. And here's the difference between Key Search and Rank IQ. So Rank IQ, when you look at their volume, it's per year. When I look at Key Search, it's per month. Now, if it's seasonal, this is an average. Okay. So like if it's like here, it's really, really consistent, right? But let's say ice skates. Like somebody may not be looking for ice skates 12 months out of the year. Okay. So you want to look if it peaks, like if it's Christmas, for example, and it peaks in November, December, maybe a little bit of October, but in July, it's 0. Let me just give you guys an example. Let's go broad, Christmas tree. Then you're going to want to look at this and be like, okay, I don't need to create web stories in the seasons, in the months where there's 0 traffic. Okay, it may show, okay, see, look, there's nothing there. So then on some sort of Google Doc, you need to be doing, like it starts to pick up, like probably the end of November, end of October, beginning of November. November 1st, I would be doing Christmas tree. Okay. And I probably would stop middle of December. Okay. So come up with some kind of content planner. I just use a simple Google Doc. If you've got a spreadsheet or whatever, some of you guys are way more fancier with that. Then you want to, you could literally plan out a year. Okay. I even have it on post where I know that post doesn't peak for maybe like 3 months. I might do a story. I typically though will put it into our email if I feel like it's appropriate. And then I'll wait, and on the sheet that I have, I will add it to that and add it into whatever month that is. Okay, so I know it'll get some traction. There's no need, like Christmas tree, like there's no need creating a web story in May. There's just not. Like you're just not going to get traffic. Okay, so I want you to take your list. Okay, you didn't do your list, you got to go back. Okay, and I want you to create whatever works for you, whether it's a Google Doc, maybe it's Google Sheets, whatever it is, piece of paper, what works for you. Okay, and I want you to go through and to really start with the keywords. Okay, and I want you to come up with a couple of keywords per blog post that you have. Okay, if it looks good for September, October, November, December, then you need to have 4 keywords. Okay, if it only looks good October, November, then you only need 2. Okay, and you want to look at this volume and say, okay, which of these fits and which of these has the most volume? Okay, I already showed you the trick over here, right? So, like, I could look at Balsam Fir, I could look at New York Times. We know Walmart doesn't have web stories. We know that Amazon didn't have web stories or Home Depot. None of them have web stories. Okay, so you could totally, like on Christmas tree, even though the DAs are super high, right? And the keyword difficulty is super high, I can still get traffic from them because I've written a great blog post that is then with an affiliate selling them Christmas trees. Okay. So it really is this simple, but I want you to be at minimum about 2,000. Okay. You can go higher, go higher. I want keywords for each of those blog posts that you've got that you're going to promote. Okay. And then I want you to send me a message. Let me just kind of look at it. You can put, so a lot of times too on this, I will put just for my benefit, or if I'm working with a client, like I'll do 9K or whatever it was. Okay. I know then what that search volume is. And then I know what the blog post is. Okay. This helps me not to have to go back and find a blog post. Okay. And I'm using the data that Google has already given me. Okay. So easy way to do it. Really, truly, this is like the best way to do it. And then you keep that list, and then come next December, next fourth quarter, you're going to just do another search, just do another comparison, relook at your data to see if anything's changed. Okay. The other thing I'm looking at, here's another little trick. So you can see here position, right? So I really love driving traffic to things that are on kind of page 2. Okay, so I've got like 13th position, 14th position, and all I did is up here, I clicked position, average position. Okay, then I love going after things that are below the first position. Okay, because a lot of times with these, like 12, 13, 15, 14, you can get those up to page 1. Okay. So by just putting a few keywords to it that have enough search volume, you should be able to get those up to page 1. Okay. So but take a look at that. If you have any questions, I want you to let me know. Okay. You can message me again or ask in the Facebook group. You can just take a screenshot and be like, okay, do you think this is a good keyword? Okay. I'm totally fine with that. So ask that in the Facebook group. So the keyword research is not hard. Okay. It's really not. But it's just a difference. Like I would not write on Christmas trees because there's no way in God's green earth we can, get above Walmart or Amazon or some of that. That keyword difficulty is just way too high. But can I do a web story on the best Christmas trees for allergies or the best Christmas tree under $100? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I create the web story. Probably the biggest mistake I see people make when they do their web story. Okay. I see it all the time. So we're going to walk through this, but I want you to spend some time today come up with your keywords. Okay. You can always go back in, copy, paste, do whatever, and be able to have like, here's what I'm going to do this week. Here's what I'm going to do that week. If you have a virtual assistant, that's a great way to do it. Okay. If you're wanting, for somebody to be like, okay, I need help creating these. One, draft them. Okay. You can always draft. And I'm going to show you how in just a minute in this other video, because I think it's one of the best ways to do multiple ones. And then you go through your Google Doc or Google Sheet, whatever you're using, and be like, okay, here's what I'm creating today. Okay. I want this to be easy. I really do. Okay. But I also know that there are people out there that will have you just send me your blog post. No rhyme or reason. You're just randomly picking stuff. Okay. And there's certain times of the year that blog post is going to get more traffic. There just is. Okay. So I don't want you just handing this off until you understand it. Okay, my done for you guys, get their Google sheet. Okay, they know what's coming. I have some that want it in draft and they want to review it before I publish it. Totally fine. I do them a week at a time, put it in there, and then every day I go in there and publish them. Okay, but I want you to know it before you hand it off. Okay, it doesn't do you any good to hand it off. 'Cause somebody can tell you they know what they're doing. Okay, and I'm not, again, not bad mouthing anybody. I've just seen stuff that people have said, "Oh, I hired somebody to do it." And I'm like, where the heck did that keyword come from? They're not getting results. And I'm like, well, no offense to the person who did this, but it's wrong. Okay, so I want you to know how to do it before you hand it off. Okay, hands down. So you've got some homework to do today. Look at your Search Console. If you don't have 12 months of data, go through. That's what we're doing on the sewing one. We're just going through and figuring out what projects would they want to complete. And I pull it up in there and then I look to see the months that it peaks. Okay. Key search. I love it. I'm going to show you how to use it in posts to create really great posts that rank high, like rank faster, because it has more search volume than a lot of times what's in the library at Rank IQ. Okay. So I still love Rank IQ. But anyway, if you have questions, let me know.